What's up everybody, this is Reinforce on the Plat Chat YouTube channel, and this is a video you typically wouldn't expect to show up on your Plat Chat channel feed, but we're trying some new stuff here in the bye weeks. We want to upload some more cool content for you guys. So this week I'm uploading a VOD review, a 3-hour session of me going through Shanghai and Seoul in the APAC May Melee Finals, an incredible reverse sweep with a lot of back and forth and a lot of playstyles that changed throughout the series. So I figured I'd throw it up here on the Plat Chat YouTube channel, and we're working on some more cool stuff behind the scenes, but until then, this is some cool content for you guys to enjoy. So let us know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video, dislike the video, all of that cool stuff. You know, moving forward, maybe 3 hours is a bit too long for people to enjoy, but maybe moving forward we do something cool where we can pick out a specific map, the best map of the week, and I'll go through that, or we can pick out a specific player POV and I can go through someone's POV and break it down, etc. Maybe do some scouting in tier 2. Who knows? It's all up in the air. But this week I'm uploading a 3-hour VOD review of me going through Shanghai and Seoul, and I hope you guys enjoy it very much. I hope you guys have a great week moving forward, and stay tuned here on the Plat Chat YouTube channel for some more cool content coming your way. I'm indeed a wizard. Technically I'm wise, but also a wizard. Okay, so let's get into it. Alright, so I'm gonna VOD review this match. As I was asleep the Sunday it was played, and I had to sort of skim through it and the semifinals because I had to catch up on so much Overwatch on Sunday after we had already had Friday and Saturday of Overwatch. So I want to properly like get to the meat of this match and see what all the hype is about. So let's get into it. Okay, so Seoul running double shield with Lucio Moira, playing point with Symmetra. Makes sense. Dragon's gonna use Ashe to get some dynamates in. Alright, this is slowed down. Oh, it was slowed down. And get a lot of damage in on these bunkers. Flatta's doing some cool flanks. So the Dragons just want to get a pick here. Try to base slow. Seoul pushes out. That's a nice push, actually. It's pretty decisive. I like to see that. So obviously for Seoul here, that's a good push because they have the Lucio. So they want to push out with their Reinhardt and capitalize on the fact that Dragons do not have speed. So Dragons are trying to get as close as possible to Seoul to get their poke damage in, like as efficiently as possible, while Seoul is looking for opportunities to capitalize on Dragon's poor positioning and like speed boost over them.
Another one.
So like here, Seoul just utilizes speed to like push into the bunker comp, tries to find picks. Profit goes down here. This is a really bad position for Seoul. Oh, Gesture uses Shatter. Or no, Marvel uses Shatter. That's not good. Thank you, Annie, for the 31 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Reinforcements. Try and pokes in the chat. So yeah, it's an unfortunate push for Seoul, but that's sort of how you have to play this brawl comp. Because if you just stand still, Moira's gonna run out of gas eventually, and then you're just kind of stuck in a point. So they have to look for opportunities to really push into Shanghai. They already use their speed, I think. They can't push out here. Okay. Flat tries to shatter. Not the biggest fan of Prophet's Blizzard, but stalls for a bit at least. Void comes in with a nice gravitic flux. See if we can go back there for a bit. I do think I like how Shanghai paces this fight. So like, Seoul is gonna... Did they fail the TP? Or are they just trying to do... No, they're trying to go to the outside. So, Dragon's goal here essentially is just to spam Seoul down. So like, you have the window.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Flatta's Rind, true Chad. It's hard for Seoul to really do anything here because I think they've already used speed, so they can't really push out any further. So they kind of have to buy time for like CDs and stuff to come out cooldown. I mean, rallies also hard to get into. With this Blizzard, they really need to get Void. But they can't really push out, but they need to like find picks with this Blizzard. So It's a hard position to be in for Seoul, but I think they have to find more with the Blizzard. And then it just comes in with the clean up. So Dragons used quite a lot there. Whereas Dynasty committed like a Blizzard. Shadow, I suppose. And a symmetrical, but I don't think you're too unhappy with that fight, considering how much Dragons committed. How's it going, AI? Okay, so they're playing the May Reaper now. But same kind of theory applies, that you're playing this bit more brawly of a composition. So you want to find opportunities to speed onto someone. You want to speed onto Stan, speed onto Void. That's a good pull onto Luffy. That's kind of what you're trying to do, find picks. Good engage. Good halt by Gesture. And that's a nice fight, so it feels like Shanghai is... I mean, you have the speed disadvantage if you are Shanghai. And I don't know if... They're not really... Like, it's not easy for Seoul. But the fact they're finding these openings is a bit, you know, concerning. Okay, so again, these two are just gonna look to speed outdoors. Can't fight an opening though, so they have to retreat. Back off to a corner. Look for more picks from this corner. This is good positioning from Shanghai. They're so split here. Void, one door angle. Bob, one door angle. Fleta one side. Really hard for Seoul. But as Seoul just kind of sticks onto this point, they're not really playing their composition to the fullest. So you can see how they're not getting any value here. Just standing out on the point. They want to find someone to go on, but they're just kind of standing around. And over time, Shanghai's good positioning kind of just speeds over. So that's where Shanghai's composition really flourishes. Really excels. This is the first game of the match. Yeah, it's the first map. So, normally, I would slow things down and pause a lot more and do drawings. But considering this is a 7-map series, I just don't have like 8 hours in my day to break this match down. Because I'm also recording 4 hits later. So, I'm trying to be kind of in-depth here. Without not pausing too much. Okay, so what are we doing here? It's 90%. Walling to get some space. That's a great gravity fox. I mean, it only catches marble, but the idea is great. It's hard because Shanghai knows that it's 90%, and they know Seoul has to rush to get to the point. So Shanghai purposely plays more aggressive to sort of interrupt Seoul as they have to make it to the point. So it's really good play. I mean, throughout this round, we talked about how Shanghai wants to sit back and poke and like get picks over time. But here they recognize, because of the timer, that they can play a bit more aggressive, because Seoul will be distracted by the point percentage. Like, stand in just comes in here and just kills the backline, so. Also no Symmetra, so obviously easier to capitalize on, but. That's the road! Pedosian's lamp was late. Okay, interesting to see how this round plays out.
5,
Ball Winston. Oh boy, McCree Torb. Oh my god. Josh probably was mauling throughout this round. I don't know. On this specific point, like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, what are we diving here? We're diving Lee Jagon. Okay, Gesture Profit does not really get value. Hacks. Fits hacks Luffy to stop Immortality Field and stuff. The damage just isn't there. I wonder if they went a bit too prematurely. I think you have to play around Bedoshin's Biotic Grenade here. I wonder if we can see where Bedoshin uses his nade. Is he gonna use it early? Where is it, Bedoshin? Wait, did he use it there? Did he hit nothing?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Teleporter online. Take your medicine.
Oh, he just kind of Ryan shield. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You kind of have to play around that Biotic Grenade. It's really hard to get that damage in required to get a pick off this comp. So that was unfortunate. You don't have a ton of damage with this Dynasty comp to like really burst down like the Luffys and the Lee Jagon with this comp. Like you can jump on someone, hope that maybe like Winston bubble drops or like prevent some of the healing done. But it's hard to finish someone with this comp really and not taking too much damage yourself in the process. And that's why Bedoshin's anti-nade is so crucial, because it I mean, it almost like it deals damage, you know. Okay, so Bedoshin uses nade again. Okay, I'm very confused as to what's going on here. That's a nice shadow from stand 1. I'm not a big fan of Dynasty's approach here at all. What are we doing here? Marvel forces to a diva. Okay. Still, I mean, now you have Nano. So the win condition for Dynasty here is either Prophet can get a pick with this pulse bomb. Hard considering Immortality Field, of course, but there's a chance. Now you can Nano someone like Gesture, and you will have that damage required to get one of these supports down. Marvel's defense matrix will hopefully make sure that you don't take as much damage when you're going for that dive. But I find that Marvel might still be pretty exposed to both Void and the Lip. So there's that Nano. You know, it's not the greatest leap in the world, but he's like max ranging Luffy here. Immortality Field comes down, turns onto Fleta, hacks onto Gesture. Oh my god, they're just pumping shit into Gesture here. Meanwhile, Prophet is killing a turret, so you can't really capitalize here. Gesture is still hacked, so he can't go in with this Nano. I mean, this is a bit of a disaster. This is playing right into Shanghai's hands. Prophet comes around. There's no Immortality Field anymore. Okay, here comes Gesture. Gets Luffy. It's a nice triple juggle. Goes after Lip.
Wait for it.
Meanwhile, Bedoshin and Toby is just kind of bullying stand 1. There's not a ton of healing here, so Lee Jagon really needs to play on the point here. Lee Jagon should be on the point with Void and Torb, I think. Because there's no healing now for stand 1. I don't know why he's backing up. What is he doing? Sir? Hello? And I guess that works, so... Oh. Okay, here we go. Sorry, grab EMP. Molten Core. Okay. Rally. Okay. Well. They tried. What's up, God-tier gamer? Oh. Well, that was a big commit from Shanghai. They tried. Did not work. 4 ults when they were down 2 players. I mean, there is a world in where you grab EMP Molten Core and everything just vanishes. Like, just disappears into the Shadow Realm, you know? But it was slightly questionable, I found. But, you know, that's how it goes. So Dynasty is actually in a pretty good position here. Because now you have... Okay, let's pause for a second. Because now when you have this area here, it's much easier to utilize this area to force, like, dives onto people. You don't want to dive in there. But, like, when you're playing on this area, when you have to recontest, you typically can't walk up to the bridge because you take so much, like, poke in the process, like crossing this bridge. So you saw Gesture. He was forced to jump up here and utilize this as an obstacle to play around as a Winston. And then you kind of have to look for small angles to, like, go onto opponents like this from this obstacle. But now when you actually have a control, it's much easier to navigate this dive because you have so much more space where you can't get poked down. Because the dragons have to, like, come up here before they can really get damage in. So naturally, it's easier for Seoul to dive from this position without taking as much poke. So now when you have the EMP and you have the rally, you can hold these chokes a bit longer and you can actually get some good dives in. So interesting to see what they do in this situation, because I think this is a very good situation to be in, especially considering Shanghai doesn't have ults of their own. But I think Flera should yield some value at some point throughout this round with Echo, I feel like, against Dynasty's comp, but we'll see what happens. Using ult to disengage. That's a 5-head take. Okay, so Gesture uses Leap. Not a huge fan of that, because using Leap in that position, now you can't really engage. So now Seoul are just kind of buying time for Gesture's Leap to get back onto get back on cooldown. Flera comes in from the back, tries to do some damage. Now this is a great position because Fitz here, I mean, he has the option. Does he want to peel with an EMP or does he want to hit a fat EMP right here? So Gesture uses Leap again onto Void. Again, not a huge fan of that, actually. And Fitz is forced to use... That's a... Holy macaroni, dude. Toby is just chatting it up. Toby low-key winning this fight. He's just chatting it up. We're gonna get more picks from this. So they win that fight, but, you know, honestly, it was a bit messy because you have 2 things going on. You have one crew over here and one crew over here. And yeah, I mean, call it efficiency, but, you know, it inspired some anxiousness. Now let's see that play out in real time. Gesture leaps onto Void. You get both tanks. Yeah, run over there. I mean, Toby is just a Chad with this rally. Kinsale, thank you for the 23 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Reinforcements. Ryan Pogs in the chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so you won that fight with the EMP. Good value. Now Dragons as an EMP. Let's see how Lip uses this EMP. Okay, it's just gonna TP in and try to hit that. Hits Gesture. Good non-on to Gesture. Good play from Bedosian. Gets a self-destruct. So this is neat play from Seoul. Let's see. So Gesture's gonna dive in here. So Seoul is the counter to the EMP here, or not the counter rather. I mean, that's a near perfect. I need to see that from Gesture's perspective, because that's pretty sick. So, one sort of like option when you're facing an EMP is just to speed up the tempo before the Sombra even gets a good chance to EMP. So what you don't want to do is just stand around. So you want to be proactive about things.
Another one.
And that's sort of
How
what
is going
Gesture's
today,
doing here.
Johnny?
So, as the translocator is going to come in, that's when he knows that he wants to dive, because if he just stays here, he's just going to be EMP'd and then won't be able to do anything. Well, let's see this translocator come in. 3, 2, 1. There it is. That's pretty sick timing. That's pretty neat. And now at least you have a chance in this fight, because you've sped things up and not allowed the EMP to get a lot of value. You make it harder for dragons. That's neat from Seoul. It might sound dumb, and I don't mean this condescending, but this is fundamentally like good dives from Seoul. I mean, this is not new stuff that happened in like 2020, you know? But this is just fundamentally good dive and how to play around your opponent's ultimates and how to play around your ultimates, which is nice. East, thank you so much for the 3-month streak. 5 months in total. Thank you so much. How is today going? It's going pretty well. Ryan Pogs in the chat. Okay, so... Oh, profit. The profit factor. And now we can kind of go in because there's no rally. Gesture primal. See it from the god himself. Prophet's Tracer is filthy. That's pretty correct, sir. That's pretty true. We're just gonna clean this up. Fleta? Dude, Nano Echo. Wait, what? Oh. Holy shit. Look at this.
Another one.
Absolute Chad! What a hero. Never mind. Washed up. Oh. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Okay, let's do this instead. Backpack Matt. Is that Matt, the stats guy? Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good day. I was gonna say a good Wednesday, but it's actually not Wednesday. I'm losing it. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Ryan Pogs for Backpack Man. What an absolute legend of the sport. I mean, I could watch this in a cinema. Like, if they released a full-length movie, like 2 hours of just, like, Prophet, the Tracer, I would watch it. It's like candy. Love to see it. So that was pretty impressive, because it really was fundamental dive from Seoul. They were not trying to reinvent the wheel. They just kind of played well around their ultimates, and then you have the individual skill around that, like Gesture, Bedosian. Toby had some nice Brigade play, actually, knowing his limits, pushing in when he could, etc. So it's nice to see that from Seoul, because it sort of shows that they're not just relying on individual skill per se. Like, they actually have good plans behind it, and, you know, they're not trying. It's not the identity of just like, oh, it's just these star players fucking around, you know. Still good to see that come out. Whatever, May Sim versus May Sim. Okay, so this is just gonna be as close to get goats as we get. Aftermath from the May walls. Marvel swings around. I'm not gonna go too in depth about like how that fight played out, because it's honestly just a bit of a clown fiesta. Like, you see one May wall go up earlier, Soul gets slightly better positioning. Because of that, kill Void, one less shield for Shanghai, man advantage. I mean, it's not too much to say about that. Where both teams running 2 main tanks. So how do I put this? It's about like the fortitude of the tanks. And like shields is such a... It's so... Okay, it's so easy to get value from shields. Does that make sense? Whereas if you were to play like D.Va into this, obviously Symmetra and May counters D.Va. Zarya, it'd be hard to get that charge and deal damage apart from just dealing damage to shields. But if you play Orisa, you're guaranteed to get value from your shield. If you play Reinhardt, you're guaranteed to get value from your own shield, as well as like fire strikes through shields, etc. You're just getting so much more value in these type of mirror compositions from the kits. Why not Sigma though? It's pretty easy to run over a Sigma. So both teams here are running Lucio and May. And like Sigma on this map, let's say on this map, like Sigma could be pretty good at playing like in this area, and like you shoot orbs up here, you shoot like towards here, and you kind of poke around a little bit. But how these comps play out with the Baptiste, Lucios, and the May, etc., and the Symmetra to deal with the shields as well, what happens is the Sigma will sort of play in this area, and at some point you're just gonna have to walk up, because like it's not super sustainable. And that's when speedy comps like this will play at like sort of this area, and then they'll just speed boost onto you. And like it's pretty easy to run over a Sigma in that regard, especially when you can place a May wall behind them, you can freeze them. So it just, the pace of the game is just a bit too fast for a Sigma. It's not as easy to run over a Reinhardt, because he can shield himself from the freeze. He has a larger shield, of course, so he can take more poke damage as they are approaching him. An Orisa can't get frozen because you have the Fortify, and then as well you're contributing to the shield war, and then you also have the halt to sort of prevent people from speeding onto you. So they're just more stable, and they're just more fortifiable. I'm inventing words, I don't know. I hope that explains it a little bit. Okay, so what happened here? Symmetra teleporter. Oh my, what? I thought I was in for the shadow of my life. Oh, that was sad. Oh, that's sad. What an opportunity. Let's see one more time what happens here. Oh, slow down. I messed it up. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat.
The objective is now active.
I want to see what happens here. So there's Symmetra teleporter. Instantaneous rotation from Seoul towards this ground. I mean, this is a clusterfuck if I've ever seen one. Good Maywall. Actually a hard... Like, that's a good Maywall. From Prophet. I think Shanghai did not want to stay up here because it's so hard to push out of here against a composition with like May and Window and double shield. It's like hard to get out of this choke. So I think they wanted to Symmetra TP and round this corner before Seoul reached it and like met them. But it was a great instantaneous response from Seoul to be able to contest this area to not like let Shanghai in. And then it's a great May wall from Prophet to sort of split them up. T-Tours, rip, dude. What's up, Captain? How's it going? Okay. What are we doing here? Got an amplification matrix. Can maybe help them get some space. Forcing Seoul back. Got a Symmetra wall. Both sides. Prophet might get his Blizzard up earlier than Fleta. He might use this aggressively here. Are you? No, that would be too... That would be too risky. Okay, TP behind the point. Are they gonna take this TP? Lee Jae-gon does. You could get a good May wall here from Prophet. Oh, here it is. Here it is. There's no one to capitalize though. Oh, stand one comes in from behind with a shatter. Good Symmetra. Counter Blizzard. Good sound barrier from Toby. There's a lot going on here. And as I said earlier, I won't have the time to go through 7 maps, like really in depth. Like that will actually take 12 hours. So I can't go too in depth about every fight because then I'm just not gonna have time. Because I have 4 heads to record as well, so. The meme DPS that Philly has. Wait, Shanghai isn't lacking anything. What do you mean? Okay. Shanghai holding a bit close. Like Seoul did previously. Good May wall from Prophet. Because it allows them to get through that choke. That is so crucial. Amplification matrix. Lee Jae-gon exposes himself a little bit too much. Fitz comes in with the Doomfist. It's such a crucial May wall by Prophet. Just to recognize that small window just to get through that choke. It's like a pretty... It's a pretty aggressive play because his teammates might not have been ready for it. But he recognizes they have to pull that off. And so he just throws it up. Those are like the small intuitive factors that make the difference between a good and a great player. It's like you can't wait around for your team to like play with you. You just kind of have to play your best and then your team follow up on what you do. So it's a great May wall by Prophet.
Cease your resistance.
Prophet's May is honestly just nuts. Prophet's May is just... Mwah. That was old Bedosian in those last two fights. I'm gonna look at Bedosian. Just for you, baby. Oh, yes. Let's see some Bedosian magic. In my sights. I mean, I'm not... There's no need to, like, provide a ton of commentary here. Just let the magic play out. Okay, help Toby. Immortality field. Oh my god. I love... I don't know. There's something about it when, like, you don't look at the danger. You kind of just work around it. So, like, there's... Void is gonna come from his right side and deal damage. And he's just like, I'm just gonna walk around the pillars. I'm healing my team. Like... 20 health. I'm just gonna walk to the left and continue healing my team. Who cares? I don't know. I think it's kind of sexy. Never look at explosions. Exactly. Exactly back like mad. There you go. Really good fundamental dive from Seoul. On point B. I mean, they struggled when they came out with it initially. But it did look solid. They had good plans. Played their advantages. Pretty nice. Profits May is insane. I think you can say that. I think that's a takeaway. I want to focus a bit more on Shanghai and what they're doing. Because I feel like I'm watching a lot of stuff from Seoul's perspective. But I also want to watch stuff from Dragon's perspective. I don't want to get too bogged down in who's winning all the time. Sixas, hello. How's it going? Okay, so Blizzard Wall. Okay, gonna hold up here. It's not too shabby, considering I got double shield on Ash. What's up, Richts? How's it going? Thank you for the nice comments. May Hanso. Okay, swap to Ash. I was like, what? Is probably going to wall off the high ground? No. Looks for a wall. Oh, it's slightly too far back. It could have been a sick wall. So, Dragon's just looking to get some ult charge here. Again, poking away. You want to play around DM's Dynamite to make sure he gets some good damage in, and then you can capitalize on that with Fleta. So Fleta's flanking again. I will say Shanghai had some nice flanks on Night Market. Like, they had good positioning where Fleta would come in from some angles. Void wouldn't come in from other angles, etc. I like their positioning. So I wonder if we'll see more of that here. As Dynasty. Oh, they wall themselves up on the high ground. Oh, 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 I can't. There's no way to underemphasize how big brain it is to take this high ground away. Because, as we talked about, Shanghai wants to play this. Is it concave? Are these the concave? Like when you're playing Like with the wider angle. I don't know. I get lost. It's concave and the other one. And like, it's so hard for Seoul to really walk in here without having any positional advantage on any of these sides. So this just... Convex? Yeah, concave is the wide angle, right? And convex is the other one. I don't know. But like, Seoul just splitting off this entire like point just gives them so much more space to operate with. And makes it so much harder for Dragons to really pull off their comp with like the DM dynamites, the void spam and all of that. Like, it's actually... That's so sexy from Profit and Marvel. Let's see how they utilize this. Okay, Marvel gets booped. Great boop by Lee Jae-gon. Profit can't really do much here by himself, except he gets a kill on Isayaki. But they try to pressure him away. I'm almost a bit surprised he didn't notice that they were coming behind him. So let's see how that affected the positioning from Shanghai. So they wall themselves up here. Shanghai is playing very passive. Like, I understand you want to poke down. So they were up here initially, and it's not spectacular. I know you want to poke down. I kind of like playing in this area to like have some spam going through. Because they took this, Lee Jae-gon has to contest, and they have to push this down. Void rotates around. So stand 1 is like by himself over here. Map? Yeah, this is map 2. And they kind of get poked down. I just feel like that high ground positioning just forces Shanghai's hand so much. Okay, Flera comes in for a flank. Bedosian frags. Let's watch some more Bedosian. Chad. Damn, Bedosian. Calm down. It's beautiful. Truly beautiful. Profits May combined with Bedosian Sanyara. Like, damn. Okay, so what do you... Amplification Matrix come out. Buy some more time. On paper, it's not a super good Amplification Matrix. But what this does is it allows Seoul to sort of like cross this area a little bit. It forces Shanghai to like back off from this corner a little bit. And this is a very narrow like street to operate in. So this Amplification Matrix, while not, it doesn't like gets tons of value, it actually again forces the movement of Shanghai to a point where Seoul can hopefully walk forward a bit, and then they'll have a bit like some better ground to take a fight in. I think that's the reason they used it anyway. So like Shanghai backs off a little bit, Shanghai backs off a little bit. Now you're in a much better position if you're Seoul to try to win this fight. And now on the opposite, Shanghai is like in this kind of tight angle here. Marvel's pressuring over here. That's pretty neat. It's a hard fight for Shanghai here. Great Blizzard by Profit. But again, I mean, it's really good for Seoul. I feel like is Shanghai being a bit too passive here? I mean, there's not a ton you can do about that Amplification Matrix, especially when you don't have speed. So I want to say it's just great play from Seoul, but how do you stop this if you're Shanghai? Dynasty also has a Discord orb, which is going to be an advantage for them with Bedosian. It's hard to really engage as well because Dynasty has a May. So you're really relying on hitting these dynamites and getting people low and then finding those picks from Flera. But it's even harder without the Discord orb. Bob comes in. It's not the greatest Bob, honestly. And they're just gonna kill him. Oh. Marvel with the gravitic flux flank. Are they in a position to capitalize on this, though? Oh, he actually catches the Bob, too. Look at these flanks from Seoul. Good supercharger. Okay, so that was sort of like phase 1 of the fight. And now you're in like phase 2. This is where if Shanghai wants to win this fight, they sort of like have to find an opportunity to turn the tides right now. Because you have this sort of like neutral look for both teams. But again, like the May wall, I feel like is so effective here. Where's... Oh, he's dead. Okay, never mind. The May wall is not effective because there's no May right now. But like if you're Shanghai here, like what do you do? Like it's hard to be proactive with Shanghai's comp, I feel like. And so as long as Seoul like plays well, and they've played really well angles and stuff so far, it's hard for Dragons to really be proactive and try to get those advantages early in the fights. I want to see if they can get something to happen here. There's some spam going across, like you're just spamming, trying to get people low, trying to get Fleta to get those picks. Like, it's not a super bad comp from Dragons. It's like, it's pretty well-rounded and stuff. But it's hard to be proactive. Like, what's happening here, dude? Oh, my lord. Okay. Is this just a random right click? Oh, the halt right click. Like this Zenyatta is doing so much work when he's alive. And it's hard for Shanghai to really deal with him. Okay then. Well. I think Seoul is playing this beautifully. I think Shanghai needs to change something up if they're trying to win this. Because you can't really play the long con spam game going up against a Zenyatta. Like, Shanghai are just making it hard for themselves. It's really cold because my AC is blasting. I don't like it. Oh well. Just go Babson and then the comps are equal. Yeah, I wonder if they don't want to do that because something changes. Like Profit goes Tracer or something. Like Profit's May also has just been lights out. Like we like to talk about how Profit like mechanically is a good player, but like his positional awareness and like the way he plays around the ground is just like so impressive. Okay, so now Shanghai is playing the Zenyatta. I like this to look a bit more. Profit's playing the Tracer. So I want to see how this plays out compared to how Mayhem Shock played out here on this point A. Profit's gonna come in. Shoot at Void. Void, what's happening here, buddy? Lamp has to go out. Lamps, that's a pretty big cooldown here. This Lamp... So we're just gonna die. Good stuff from Fleta. Comes in on our flank. Fleta has like played well around his positioning. Like Fleta has actually been on some nice flanks and tried to get some stuff done. I just feel like it's hard for Dragons with this composition to get the initial advantage that Fleta can capitalize on. But maybe... Because, I mean, I doubt it's mechanically... Okay, so Void is down. It's hard for Shanghai to really walk up without a second shield. Like, stand 1 can't really round this corner and contest gesture as much, so they kind of just have to wait. Prophet's kind of just lurking over here.
I could use some healing. Moving up.
Bedosian? Bedosian? Bedosian gets picked. This is a bit scrappy. I think Prophet's Tracer is like making it a bit scrappy because Dynasty doesn't have as much of a well-rounded composition, I suppose. Fitz gets a pick. Both teams are just kind of trying to get picks here. Especially Dragons now when they're playing the Zenyatta. They are actively just looking for so much damage to come through that they can then secure picks on. Void, again, just flanks to the side. Let's see what Void does here to the left side. So he's trying to get this angle to get some spam down. And I've praised Shanghai for taking these angles throughout the series with Plat and Void. Let's just see what happens here, though. Gets pressured by Marvel. Should probably back out now. I don't know. You want to continue fighting here? He just stays around for too long. I think that's the second time Void has just kind of played an angle by himself and got capitalized and ended up dying. So it's a bit questionable. Wait, what? Excuse me? No way. Holy crap. That's an opening pick. Prophet has a pulse bomb! He doesn't want to use it because of immortality field. Big brain. Okay, Prophet gets a pick onto Flera. So Shanghai wanted to push the advantage they got. And Flera kind of just got owned. So it's good from Prophet trying to get these pricks. I mean, he's just insane. It's a bit harder for Shanghai to pull off this Zenyatta as well now when you're playing against Prophet's Tracer. Like, this round compared to Seoul's push, Dynasty was playing the May. And that's when I feel like you can really get away with playing the Zenyatta on the Sayaki. But like now is sort of the time where it's harder to get that value because Prophet is on the Tracer. So it's unfortunate because Shanghai adapted to the previous round, but then Seoul throws a different look this round with Prophet on Tracer. So I'm not entirely convinced Zenyatta would necessarily pick here now because of the situation that Prophet is playing this Tracer. I wonder if he could have played it a bit differently. When I show a switch when they play these comps? Yeah. Oh, DM finds a pick on the Prophet. Okay, so now this is like prime position for the Shanghai Dragons. Supercharger comes down though. It's going to buy some time. I don't think Shanghai wants to push into this at all. And Amplification Matrix. I mean, that's just a buttload of damage. Cease your resistance. Okay. Yeah, really prime position. So you wait out the Amplification Matrix and the Supercharger. They're gone. Now's your time to strike. You got to pick up the Prophet. You double down. And I think this all stemmed from Prophet's Tracer dying. Because it gives them that space and the opportunity to not have to worry about him. And it helps so much. Okay, that's nice. That's good. That's good. We'd like to see it. Okay, I gotta check my text quickly.
Stop the payload.
I'm trying to... This is going up on YouTube, so I'm ordering thumbnails. Heh. Okay, so Dragons are playing the Senyala still. With the bat. A lot of spam going out here. Profit, I still feel is like the X factor here. And you don't want Profit to be the X factor, because that's when you sort of lose. Good pull by Gesture. Don't know if Lamp was on cooldown or not. We have to up the tempo a little bit, because I'm not gonna have time to go through all of these 7 maps. So what do you do here if you're Dragons? I think you maybe like Bob for spacing here. Maybe that can help you get in, and then you look for a Gravitic Flux. Gesture is kind of exposed, but you can't really run him over. Oh, well, that's a Bob. Denies space, so like it works the opposite. Denies the space. Oh, late trans from Isayaki. I think you kind of just wanted to wait that Bob out. Profit finds another pick. Profit is pulling up. Like, this is eerily similar to like Yaki. Okay, so now Lee Jae-gon swaps to the Brig. So now it should be easier for Dragons to sort of navigate the situation they're in here. Gravitic Flux solo onto Void. That would be a huge pick. So I mean, it's hard, but okay. So there's the Bob for space. Oh, so Gesture fortified, so the Bob couldn't actually get proper spacing for Shanghai. So that's actually pretty crucial. Amplification matrix comes up. Again, I feel like Seoul is doing a fantastic job. Like, they played up here, they played down here, they played here, and they're forcing Shanghai to just be stuck in this choke. The mission for Shanghai is really just to like get some kind of like value here. This is why you see Void walk around this area. Like, you want to take this area away. You want to be able to push out here from this choke. And that's why they try to use the Bob forward. Gesture and great fortify. But Seoul, on the opposite, are using their ultimates to try to deny this choke. So you can sort of see how they're trying to... how it's very... this area is very contested. Because Seoul wants to shut it down and Shanghai wants to break through it. Which is very interesting. So, this Gravitic Flux could come in big from Void.
My barrier is destroyed.
Barrier's destroyed. Okay, let's watch that again. So, Marvel, he's up on this tank. Then he drops down. Because Fleta... So this is actually pretty neat. So like Void walked up here to break out of this choke and like try to get this area. Fleta helps him by pushing Marvel off this tank. So now you sort of have this area. Void's gonna come up here, I believe. And like sort of pressure from this side as well. So this is sort of Shanghai breaking out from that choke. And I can't underemphasize how important it is to play that concave kind of angle and get these high grounds. And now, like, you see immediately how Shanghai have managed to break out of this choke. And now they're, like, in this position where they can... I mean, they could even walk here and try to get this... Try to get this angle here, so... Yeah, I mean, Void. He just comes in from behind. Pretty close, though. Okay.
30 seconds.
Well, let's see how these angles play out in this fight, then.
Do something.
Bobbing. Don't know entirely what its purpose is. I mean, it's a distraction for sure, don't get me wrong, but...
Your resistance.
Supercharger comes out. Teams contesting for high ground here. Okay, Prophet just finds a full spawn.
Engage. Zenyatta.
So Prophet is fragging. This is a very awkward fight.
Do something.
Like, both Fitz and Prophet are like playing in here. This is very awkward. Oh. Wow. Oh. Oh. That's unfortunate. Oh, Prophet! Let's see that fight from DM's angle as well. Absolute Chad. Oh, I missed that. Well, that was pretty chaotic. Well then. Oh, it's a hell of a fight. Okay, so Dynasty... Okay, gesture swap back to Ryoriza. Okay. So, similar stuff here to what we've seen throughout this map.
Cease your resistance.
Amplification Matrix prevents Shanghai from running the corner. Gets a pick onto Void. Hasn't Void died a lot so far? Is that a... am I wrong? Let's see how he... Like, he pushed out to the side there and just... I don't know. Hashtag reinforce was right? No, kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Devoid of deaths? Okay, Varky. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Glad to have you here. Okay, Rally. You really have to push forward. No. How do we feel about that trans? It felt a bit early to me. They were pushing Marvel, but still. This is just chaos. And there it is. There it is. There it is.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming.
Got a schedule. Stuff.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A. Changing position.
Is it that BlizzCon is cancelled this year? Alright, hold up. Is BlizzCon cancelled this year? Where it at though? Well, I knew. Okay, so Dynasty. Tracer Sombra. Dive with an Ana. Okay, so how are we going to navigate room here? Again, it sort of plays out like Gordon or Li Jiang. You really want to emphasize on the biotic grenade to get the damage to secure these kills. Still though, I would like to see them try to get some kind of space initially. So, here's sort of where we're at. Here's where we're at, okay? As I said multiple times, I need to speed up. Because I have shit to do. Most people, they dive this way. The problem is, why is it smaller? What? Didn't it used to be a bigger size? Oh, well, that's very large. So here's where we're at. If you want to dive, jumping like in ranked, just this way. It's a very long way to dive. And you have people here that are going to come in from the sides and deal damage. So that's not optimal. So what you have to do with this dive comp is, you either have to walk up here and try to get this kind of spacing and force them to push into you with a rally when you have rally and biotic grenades and that kind of stuff. And that's pretty hard. And you can also Winston cleave in this kind of narrow area. And then you want to utilize this high ground to work around. And then you sort of get around that way for free. Another option here is Void's alone again. And Void has died early a few times, I'd like to say, so far this series. So as you're diving, you don't want to go straight into a line. You either want to walk up this way, or you want to dive up to this balcony and try to force Void away, because Void will have to back off and like regroup with his team. So we always talk about angles, right? So Shanghai currently has this huge concave angle. And so Seoul either wants to like push the fringes of this to force them into a smaller concave angle. And so we're either going to see Dynasty push up here or push up here and push Void away. And then we're going to see like the teams rotate around the point to reset their positioning for the next engagement. So they decide to dive onto Void. Profit goes down, that's not great. But still, you sort of like, instead of it being a neutral look with one team here and one team here, now you're trying to change the way the neutral looks to work. So you have one team here in this angle inside of the point and one team here inside of the point. So Shanghai obviously don't want to adapt and conform to this idea that they're just going to stand over here. So they're trying to break out of this as well and contest this area now. And that's why you see Flat over here. And they're trying to break out of that concave positioning that Seoul is forcing them to. So let's see what the Seoul tanks do here.
Flight routine activated.
This is actually pretty complicated for Seoul now. Okay, so we're gonna push a Void. Push back Void. So that's pretty interesting.
Flight routine activated.
Let's see how that plays out again. Marvel flies up, Gesture flies up. And then they just walk towards the support. That's pretty nifty. That's pretty cool. And now they're just kind of cleaving inside of here. That's nice from Seoul. I like that. That's a cool dive. Jump rope is probably the best cardio in place. Best in place cardio. I kind of appreciate the conversation going on in my Twitch chat.
Objective lost.
Okay, unique opportunity for Seoul to win early here.
Flight routine activated.
Because you have the ult advantage. Gesture is going to dive up here. Because you don't want to walk up here. You can't leap here because you have to walk. So you take more damage. There it is. Nice boof from Lee Jae-gon. Rally to push away the high ground. So I think one thing, if you're trying to learn and improve on Overwatch here, one takeaway for these dive compositions is that you can see how much resources Seoul is putting into securing good positions to dive from. Like, they're not relentlessly diving. Diving is not this relentless, super aggro idea of just go in forehead. Like, they're actually using a lot of resources to secure ground in which they can then utilize as an advantage to dive from. And that's how they do it. Like, they just don't blindly dive. They actually secure ground to get an advantage, and then they dive with that advantage in mind. I think that's a good lesson to learn if you're looking to improve here. So this is kind of just individual skill united. This is such an important high ground control though. Like, they've just... I know there are different comps and they play differently. If it was Mirror, it would have been different. But like... It's just... Seoul or Shanghai are just stuck in here. And you know, some of that falls on Shanghai's comp not being able to play like as high mobility and be able to contest these areas and all that. But like, it's still sick to see the positioning happen like this.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Winston.
Flat is just trying to contest the point at this point. So they're trying to contest this high ground to reduce Seoul's concave angle. Good hack from Fitz until Lee Jae-gon. Capitalize properly. Void has done a great job of pushing around this angle here now. But a lot of pressure on his team to actually finish the job. Oh, wow. Fitz and Profit. They don't even get a tick here. Okay. I think this is really good to learn from Void here, what he does. Oh, he gets hacked out of it. That's unfortunate. Good hack from Fitz. Good from Fitz. Contest this ground. 7 HP. He was down to 7 HP. But like, they push this advantage away from Seoul. Very good. Then he continues to rotate around. And now he's behind Seoul. This is really well played from Void. Good play. Like to see that. Okay, so let's see Dragons here. I wonder if they can hold this high ground a bit better now, because Seoul doesn't have as much of an ult bank. Good hack onto Fleta from Fitz. It's going to allow Seoul to get some more control. Void's dropped to the point. Not a huge fan of him dropping to the point, actually. Did he get booped? He probably got booped. I'm not gonna assume that he dropped down. Fleta goes down again. I wonder if the Ashe pick from DM is the most optimal here. I'm not quite sure. Let's watch this fight one more time. How does Seoul get into the position? Alright, so we can watch this. They get the hack onto Fleta. Prophet works around. Void tries to contest this space. Seoul dives up to the high ground again. Secures it relatively easily, actually. Shanghai playing very passively. They just give everything up for Seoul. Like, Seoul didn't even... They just put some pressure on Fleta and then they just kind of walked up. I'm very confused. I'm pretty confused. I understand that the composition of Shanghai limits them a bit to how much they can hold that high ground, etc. But I don't know if it's the optimal way to play around Seoul's comp. I don't know if they're giving themselves the best advantage. Any matches from earlier in the May Melee going back and watching, like quarterfinals or before? Yeah, I mean, there were tons of great matches. I mean, one could even argue Toronto-Vancouver was like super even. Is the Boston game worth watching? Also against Paris, right? Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Dynasty now playing the double shield. Bedosian on the brig. So we're going to see a TP onto the point here from Dragons, I assume. Oh, are they going to swap? Oh, they're swapping comp. Now they're playing a bit of dive of their own. So let's see how they navigate this space then. Because they're playing it a bit differently with an Echo instead of a Tracer. They do the same thing. They pressure Marvel away. Good leaps. Sorry, this might be a bit disorienting, but trying to capture the action best possible. Stand 1 goes down. Yeah, it feels like stand 1 hasn't really contributed much at all so far. He had a nice shatter on Lee Jong. I remember that. Then again, sometimes I get too bogged down in like the positioning of teams rather than the individual plays of players, which is, you know, fault of my own analysis, but... Sorry, can I take this angle? This angle is probably good. I want to rewatch this. Dive onto Marvel. Fleta helps backs them up. Stand one leaps in with 1 health. Dude, what? And now you have no main tank. No to Lee Jae-gon. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. They do a good job of forcing here. If stand one was alive, this would be a secured fight. This would be over. But they secured it anyway. Good pressure. Alright, so DM EMP. Dynasty playing this double shield thingy. If DM hits a good EMP, I mean, you get the cap here. Don't EMP here. Again, pressuring off the high ground. Secures it pretty easily. It's gonna be curious to see how Seoul plays their positioning here. Something Seoul did pretty well was they walked around this area to force away people playing in this area, which then in turn forced Shanghai to play in this kind of area. Seoul are still, despite the fact they dropped down, they're still playing like a little bit more spread out. They're not succumbing to this room, but we'll see if they retreat to this corner or if they're actually like try to hold their ground up in this area. It's going to be interesting to see. Prophet kind of just doing some damage. Shanghai backs off. They must have lost someone. Did I miss that?
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Okay, they lost stand one. Okay, it makes total sense now. Stand one got blown up. Okay, stand one having a rough game. Not going to say he's playing poorly, but he's having a rough game. Put it that way. And you use the rally there now, so it's harder for Shanghai to really push the high ground. So they're using the self-destruct as sort of like a pseudo replacement for rally. As a space creating tool. Stand one gets rocked again. Okay, DM EMP. Stand one. That's a good lead from stand one. Supercharger. Oh. Yeah. It's a nope from me, dog. Good supercharger by gesture, though. You gotta look at both sides of the story. Okay, you still have this EMP from the Dragons. At some point, DM is just gonna tilt. Okay, walk up, get the high ground. Great amplification matrix. Such truth. Like, I mean, you can only drop an amplification matrix so good, but like, it's good. That's what I'm trying to say. It's good. Prophet goes a bit too far. Quick response. This positioning is just sexy from Seoul. So push out here. Not a huge fan of Isayaki's Ana here, honestly. I feel like he has to get this Nano out of the way. Much rather see a Baptiste, I'd like to believe. Okay. Okay, babe. You do you, Marvel.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Oh. Oh.
Sigma.
Oh. What's happening here? This is crazy. Okay, fled us. Sigma does not work out.
Apagando las luces. Do something.
Good Bob. Okay, that's kind of a sloppy fight. It's kind of messy. Kind of messy, to be honest with you. Ugh. Still, sexy positioning from Seoul. Okay, so they got that BAP now because they used the nano. Love to see it, Izuyaki.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Good rally to prevent them taking a high ground. Forces Shanghai back. Probably pushes out. Really making the most of that rally. But Ocean Brig, who would have thought?
30 seconds remaining.
I haven't been a huge fan of the Echo so far for the Dragons.
10 seconds remaining.
It's a hard point to really get tons of value from with Echo. So I don't agree with Plat sticking to it. And I mean, this is just a YOLO fight because Shanghai needs to force themselves onto the point. But it's still well played by the Dynasty. Like, the positionings they take. Not a huge fan of the heroes that Shanghai are playing. It feels like they're missing a part of it. They spent a lot of time point B with stand 1 just being exposed. That was quite a big blow. Okay, here we go.
Ready for battle.
Actually curious why we haven't seen Brig and BAP fall neatly into the main or flex support's job yet. I mean, I think most people looked at Brig as a main support kind of character, but it's in a flux. I don't have a great answer for you because honestly I haven't thought about that question prior to you asking it. So I want to give an educated answer, but unfortunately don't have one. So I'm going to do the logical thing and not expediently answer your question and give a bad take. Rather, instead, I am going to be intrigued by your question and instead refer to other experts in that field who have an educated guess on why that is. I have given a lot of expedient thoughts in the past, and I have learned my lesson. Needless to say. Begins Fearless is in. Fearless is in. Lip is in. Okay. Shanghai were actually just trolling the first 3 maps. And this first fight. Passive leap from Fearless. I actually don't like the word passive. Passive has a negative quotation to it. We should come up with better phrases, better ways to phrase Winston ults. Because I don't like passive leaps. Passive leaps can be good, but passive has a negative quotation to it. Again, leaps back. Cautious. Defensive. No, I mean defensive is a pretty neat way of... Yeah. Aggressive and defensive. Or offensive. I don't know. Calculated? Calculated. Playing around this corner. With the Brig and the Ana. Nano Profit. Trying to get some damage onto Fleta. Was this unsynchronized? What happens to Gesture? That's what I want to find out. Gesture gets booped. Gesture drops his shield. Gesture gets healed up. Was he aiming at Profit or Gesture? He probably was aiming at Profit. Gesture jumps in. Gesture doesn't have his shield here, and that's a big blow. That's part of why he's taking so much damage, and you get a free biotic grenade in. So it was a bit unsynchronized because Gesture should have had his shield for this fight, and that would have made a ton of difference. Like, if Gesture has his shield here, is able to cleave onto these people, like, holy shit. Also, Marvel should probably be there to, like, counteract that biotic grenade as they're leaping in. Oh, Marvel was hacked. Marvel was hacked. That's pretty key. Good hack from Lip. And this is why we go back in replays. No, Fearless. So far, Fearless is just playing like discipline. I love to see that. Goes down, but I don't think it's his fault. Oh. Yeah, the sticky mines come in clutch from Profit there. Yeah, I think it all comes back to Gesture not having his bubble and dying there. I think it would have been a different fight otherwise. It's not always fair to just blame it on one mistake or like that, but like it has had pretty significant impact. And then of course, nice hack from Lip to get that onto Marvel. Profit didn't get a ton of value from his nano, but I think part of that comes down to the position stuff. So, Profit has ult here. I don't necessarily think you have to duplicate off the bat, because Echo is such a good hero on its own. Okay, that's an aggressive leap from Fearless this time. Brig. Profit, sir. Hello? Didn't even realize that sleep on Fleta. Sick from Bedosian. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, he's trying to scout?
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Ana. Fleta goes into Ana.
Honor.
Profit's Brig goes down. Okay, there's a lot happening here. I don't know if I can keep track of it all. Shanghai Dragons. Having the high ground. Gesture goes aggressive. Primals. You're not going to get a ton of primals there. Legion rallies. Toby rallies. Both contesting for high ground. Shanghai's going. Fearless going to have to drop here. Both teams sort of drop. Fearless primals to secure the high ground. Force Soul down. Bullies to supports. Legion still rallying. Profit goes down as he pressures. There's a lot of booping and shit going on with primals, and a lot of like Brigitte rally and stuff. There's pretty very brunt stuff going on here. And there, phase 2 of the fight begins. Lip drops the EMP. And now you capitalize. Fearless not overextending. Unlike what we saw stand 1 do a few times. Good stuff from Fearless. Bullying them away. So that's good. It's Fearless preserves a lot of space. or contest a lot of space with his primal, and Lee Jae-gon uses his rally. And as those ultimates sort of get phased out throughout the fight, phase 2 of the fight begins. That's where Lip is able to come in with the EMP. So again, a pretty disciplined Dragons here. But unlike the previous maps, they're not really forfeiting space to Seoul. Like, they're actually, like, you know, contesting a little bit and not giving it up as easily. Okay, so that's rough for Fearless. But great Nano. Great bomb by Void, honestly. Actually, I mean, okay, not great. That was a bit too much, but decent bomb. Isayaki throws a barrel grenade into a wall. That's not optimal. But the Nano to Fearless here makes the fight so much harder for Seoul. So it's quite beautiful how Shanghai has this very simple idea of not letting blue box go uncontested, and Fearless is able to play around that as like a condition. Fearless with primal again. Let's see how he uses it. I mean, you can't really get aggressive value from primal because of the Brigitte and the Ana. So let's see where they force Seoul to be here. Oh. Oh. Marvel yeets a Diva Bomb into the roof. Oh, actually got the value. What a madman. Okay, so this is a 6 versus 5 fight for the Dynasty. Toby, I don't know why you're going there. Probably wants to reach the cart, but that negligence is going to mean that the Doshin is going to drop here. Flera dying to this self-destruct is actually kind of like...
Hi, yeah.
Hurts my brain a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. Isayaki is still from the high ground. Free reign. Is he going to kill Fitz? No. Rally. Again, Prophet with the Brig. I mean, yes, but also no. You have double rally. Like, you need damage, no? I don't really feel comfortable, like, criticizing these players because they're so good, but, I mean... I'm not sure if that's it, fam. Like... Okay, so there's low heals for Dynasty. So that's probably why he does the Brig. Because he knows that they need to get... I would have even liked to see him take the Ana and, like, try to get a Nano up. Because then you still get some of that damage. But if you have 2 Brigs... 2 Brigs is not like playing to win. It's more like maintenance work. Am I wrong here? I'm trying to be very open-minded. I'm trying to not make definitive statements. Anti-on to gesture. Okay, that's really important. Great nade from Isayaki. That's a tide turner. And then you can, of course, have the EMP. Winston is better in this case. Yeah, I also think the Winston is good here. Because if you're fighting around the card, there's going to be cleave damage coming out. And yeah, you have little healing, but if you have 2 Winstons in the front line, actually is... I mean, yeah, you just died. If you have 2 Winstons in the front line, especially primals, like, you don't need too much healing because the sustainability is there in the front line already. And I also feel like you up the tempo. You're not letting, like, Shanghai play it out as much. So I'm not a huge fan of Prophet's duplications here. I think Gesture messed up that one fight where... Or it was the team's fault that they went in and Gesture didn't have bubble. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I just don't feel like it's a duplication to win. But, who knows. El Mornier, thank you for the tier 2, 16 months. Can we get some Ryan Pogs in the chat for El Mornier? Fun things. Fun stuff as always. Uno momento, por favor. Okay, I have an hour. I think. If Bren wakes up. And I have 3 maps to go after this. We're in a bit of a crux. There. Okay, is there one map I can skip? Out of the next 3 maps, is there one map I can skip, chat? I don't think I can do all 3. Fearless. Contest high ground. Pokes away fits. Get some spatial ground. Love to see it. Void goes down. Good from Prophet. Chat doesn't know. Diva would have been a good copy. I don't know if... It kind of slows down the tempo quite a bit too. Oh, that's an aggressive leap from Gesture, because not having that leap now could come back to haunt him. I guess he had to poke away the... Prophet finds the mirror pick. It's a good angle. Okay. Prophet, what are we turning into? Honestly, wouldn't want to see you turn into anything until you drop pretty low. But that's just me. Think you... Oh, again, Gesture jumps aggressively. It feels like you're forfeiting space in the middle. What's happening here? Anti from Bedosian. Nano Gesture to preserve space. Did they Nano Fearlesses too? I can't see because they... Yeah, they did.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of hacks. A lot of nanos. Rally from Toby. They get Void. This is pretty messy. Oh! Prophet turns into Diana. Here we go. Another nano for Gesture. Gesture is just living the good Winston life, dude.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
Diva? Okay, Fleda. Okay, Gesture and Marvel both have tank ults. We have a nano again. Let's see how we use these abilities, gentlemen. Gesture drops low. Misses Biotic Grenade from Bedosian. Self-destruct. Forces Prophet away. Prophet is in a rough position here. Marvel comes in. Not the greatest self-destruct ever. Yeah, that was an awkward positioning for Prophet. Self-destruct from Void. That's a good self-destruct. Nano onto Gesture. Oh. Oh. I see. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Teams not fight for the blue box anymore. Blue box, Shanghai did it pretty well, actually. Shanghai did it pretty well. Okay. Is King's Row good? Do I need to watch King's Row, or can I just watch Busan and Junkertown? It's a bit long, but it's pretty good. I don't know what that means. It's long, but it's pretty good. That would be unfortunate. Busan is meh? Oh, do I want to skip Busan? There's no hero plays? Are there no hero plays on Busan? Best game of Fleta was on King's Row. Okay, should I just skip Busan then? Actually, no. Let's speed through Busan, okay? So everyone who's watching this VOD review of Busan, let's speed through it.
Round 1. Capture.
Okay, we're not going to do much of VOD analysis. Let's do more commentary stuff. Not like as in Mitch Leslie, but as in like watching the game. Okay. Dynasty playing this double shield again. Playing Prophet on the Tracer. Ana Brig is pretty interesting from the Dragons. The Ana kind of works because you're playing the dive combat, so you can sort of like get those sonos in and stuff. Because you're not playing double shield. Double shield, Ana wouldn't have been that good, but in dive it sort of works. Interesting to see how the Dragons play this dive comp though. It's going to be very hard to dive here. Not sure if I'm a big fan of it. Fitz playing the McCree is actually not that bad for the Dragons, because McCree is pretty diveable, even if you're playing against a Brig. I honestly feel like a Wrecking Ball would be pretty good here for Dragons, but that might be a controversial comment. You contest this space. It's not the best space. Oh, wait, what? How did that happen? DJ gone? Wait, where's DJ gone? Oh my god, what a whip from Lijagon. Yeah, so Fitzco ends up going down. Like, there's so much shit with Winston bubbles and defense matrix and armor packs and shit. Like, it's actually pretty easy to die as a McCree. In these utility heavy dives. We'll see how Fitz plays it. Nano comes in. Heals back. Good, I knew. Good disengages overall. Oh, what a fat biotic grenade. Misayaki. Boom, boom, boom. It fits us on Torb, Soul can't lose. Yeah, Torb Tracer is a pretty unique comp, but I mean, I can't say that I disagree that much. Is the FPS good on the stream? For you people? Like, is it looking good? Is it flowing? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. It's lagging a bit on my second monitor. I think Shanghai is able to get a lot of space here because Seoul is playing so passively. Good self-destruct. Okay, he missed it. That's unlucky. Cast the curse. Feels bad. No, not fearless. I feel like Seoul is surrendering a lot of space here. I unironically think a Torb would be pretty nice. Or it's actually... Isn't it ironically think a Torb would be pretty nice? Or unironically. Who knows? I heard Super talk about that yesterday on his stream. Now I'm confused. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Tracer McCree, I think, but see how it plays out. Shanghai preserving space on the point. Want to get some poke in. Okay, Prophet finds a pick with Pulse Bomb. Again, we're just speeding through this because I'm short on time, so I'm not going to break down too much. Oh. Isayaki. I really like these dives from Fearless. Like, the comparison between Stand 1 and Fearless, I think, is... Fearless has a better understanding of how to contest and retake space through his leaps. He's showing willingness to give up space and not die in the process, but then able to display an understanding of how to retake the space he surrendered. Like, he knows when to contest it, how to contest it. I mean, there's no like simple way to put it. I just think Fearless is showing way more adeptness. Oh my god, I'm losing it. I haven't had breakfast today and it's 3 p.m. No, 2 p.m. So my brain is functioning on fumes. Tracer Ash. Again, maybe not a huge fan of this comp, but... Oh, Dragons are swapping. Okay, so I think they're swapping because it's a pretty tight round. And they know that Bedosian is on the Zenyatta. So they don't want to sit back. They'd rather play a bit more aggressively and contest Bedosian. Ring around the Rosie. Shanghai forces Seoul into a rough spot. Immortality Field comes out. Great sleep from Isayaki. Isayaki has done some cool stuff this map. Great positioning from Shanghai to force Seoul into this position and then good dives. Got the Immortality Field out the initial time, and then the second time around you're able to dive in. Good rotations. I don't know if anything changed in the shot calling, but... Great stick from Prophet. The Prophet factor. Oh, that's a pretty aggressive EMP from Lip. No one to really follow up. Fearless is also hacked. No one to Fearless. Good sleep from Bedosian onto Fearless. Anti onto Fitz. Forces him back. Marvel? Sorry, dude. What's happening here, Marvel? Are you becoming Sleepy Boy? Isayaki kills Prophet. Fearless retreats. That's a very passive leap, though. Not entirely sure if I like that, especially when you're playing against EMP. I guess he couldn't hold that space, though. He was scared of the EMP, so he had to leap back. Is Sayaki sniping away? Okay, Fitz, what's happening here? Okay, gesture goes down. Now you're in a shitty position, to say the least. Let's see how Fisher dies. Or gesture. Goodness me. Goodness gracious me. Biotic grenade. Isayaki is popping, dude. He's slapping. But goodness me.
Apagando las luces.
No, not the fearless. Kills Fitz.
Apagando las luces.
Good stuff. Dude, the Winston play just looks so clean with fearless. Great play from Isayaki as well this map. Isayaki had contributed a lot. That's very nice. I like to see that. Okay, quick pee break. Hang tight, folks. Okay. Chair stream Pog. All variations of Pog. It's just like custom made emotes. Okay, so I think I'm ordering Chipotle later. I have forwards. But let's get through this. Some good Overwatch.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Carbonated water is the closest I have to nutrition today. Okay. What's happening here? Torb!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Torbash! Good comp. I like this. Nice. Wonder if you could have gone away with Zen, but probably not when Shanghai's played so much dive. Fearless leaps back. Spooked. He's very spooked. I really like Soul's comp here. What do you do here if you're Shanghai? I mean, this turret is just going to be nasty. I wonder if you have to work around like this angle and play around this area. Immortality field is going to be a huge problem, so you can't really dive in. Lip probably needs to get a hack. What are we doing here, Dragons? What are we waiting for? I mean, if you can get a hack on a Baptiste, that's just... Fearless gets poked down a bit. Oh, they just built an Ono. Federa kills the turret. Neat. Federa is going to deal with the turret. What does Fitz do this fight?
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Turret goes down to Flera while the turret is shooting Fearless. Flera kills Fitz. No, Fitz has to drop down. Does he die? He does. So, Prophet... no, sorry. Flera with a pretty big play there. Gets both the turrets. And Fitz. Yeah, gesture is pretty far up. Great halt, though. Oh, I mean, oh, well... It was a great halt, then it wasn't. Sorry, I need to watch that one more time. So easy for them to reach Bedosian and Prophet here. And then this Winston cleave just becomes a nightmare. Yeah, not entirely sure about that positioning. No peel from the tanks? Yeah. Not entirely sure about that positioning. Okay, so they're still playing the Torbash. Again, not too opposed with it. But Fearless has played really good on the Winston. And if you play correctly, you can get a lot of cleave damage and stuff. Seems like I called a hack on the Brig worth it. Second look, bloody polar bear. To be honest, in this position, I think you just kind of take what you get. Because there's a turret, even if the turret goes down, like there's a lot of damage you have to be wary of. I mean, you just kind of take those. So it's just in a great position to get it off in the first place. And obviously it impacts, you know, like... Inspire still worth through hack, I think. So... But yeah, just not being able to peel off the dive with a whip shot or the arm pack obviously helps. So I think you're just gonna take those. Especially when you're playing in such a tight clump and your brig can't like contribute a ton. So
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
it just seemed like there was 2 plans for the fight versus a single idea. Don't know if I entirely disagree or agree with that. I think Shanghai tried to just dive in with that nano and like brute force their way in. Like it was very much just like a neutral dive to go aggressive. And the hack onto Brig is just something you cannot take in the process. Like you can't really get a hack onto Ashe. A hack onto Orisa, yes, you can land that kill. But because of how the positioning was, if you commit to getting that Orisa, you're more concerned about what Prophet does or Fitz does or Toby does. And so they try to kill the people on Soul Squad that are like the big difference makers in the fight. And I think primarily those DPS players and maybe like Bedosian and stuff, like that's the core of the Soul team. And so going after those is pretty fine. End up landing on last night. I was Diamond 1 and then I dropped to Plat 3 after that one game or whatever, and I just went, nah, whatever. Okay, so what happens here? Question. Throw me for a loop. Okay, so your dragons here don't really have any ults. Marvelous, the gravitic flux. Interesting to see how this fight plays out. Appreciate the thoughts. Anytime, dude. That's a deep dive from Fearless. I don't hate it though. You might... Yeah, I guess it's Primal Rage off. I don't hate it. First match you've watched? Yeah, I mean, this is the big one, right?
Adaptive circuits engaged. Signal.
Here's Primal, no worries. Yeah, it's also like... I mean, he ends up getting the Primal, yeah. But it's like... There are a few different spots, like he could have, like... dived here or like around here. So like this is a pretty aggressive leap, but like it stretches the playing field so much, and I think that's what's so important. So it's it's almost like a space creating leap. The Bob is a bit of a pain in the ass. So like he stretches, because he leaps in so aggressively and uses that primal. He's going to die here. Shanghai can't really capitalize because of that Bob as much.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Now they kind of just chat in. Now they're back to neutral positioning. But like the opening... Let's see here.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
I feel like Soul isn't a good... I mean, the double Sigma hurts. Rally help from DJ on 2. This is Chad. Would like to see this. Going around this angle. It's pretty interesting how Shanghai wins that fight. I'm not saying Seoul should have won it, but like it felt like Shanghai overcame a difficult position with that rally and with that duplicate onto the Sigma, and then using the primal to using the primal to stretch the playing field of the team fight. Then you have the Sigma to add on another pressure point from the high ground, and then you can rally your way in. Like, it's beautiful. Beautiful usage of ults there from Shanghai, I think. And they changed the playing field so much with the ultimates they use. They use 3 ults versus 1 from Seoul. Yeah, but it's like, it's very... That you can't always like compare ults like that. I think that they get a lot of like value from it.
Apagando las luces.
That's a beautiful bomb. Sigma ult onto the monkey seemed like a misfocus. Like they thought more would dive with the monkey. I mean, sometimes we see solo EMPs on monkeys, right? It's like an easy way to shut down dives relatively easy. Don't know if they accounted properly for the primal rage to just restore the HP after the Sigma damage came in. I think that was the big problem. Because, like, if there's no primal there and it just goes down, I think Shanghai loses that fight, quite honestly. Sleep onto Bedosian. Isayaki again.
Apagando las luces.
No, lucky Toby.
Feeling powerful, and I'm not even angry.
Time to raise my APM.
But Fearless probably wouldn't have jumped that far without primal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just didn't account for it. AKA mistake. It's very impressive to see this dive from Shanghai. Dynasty just doesn't have any solution for it, really. Okay. Need to refocus here, boys. Need to refocus, get some more coffee, caffeine. Here we go. Last 2 maps. Fearless has Primal. Fleta has Duplicate. Rally to gain space. Marvel over on the Mega Pack. Retreat, sir. My good sir. Dynasty here wants to find some picks. How much is Profit really doing here? On this Echo. Fitz is also not really... Gesture, bro. Okay, Profit gets a pick. That's good. They should deal with the Supercharger, right? Yeah. Gesture again behind his team a bit. Gesture is kind of... I mean, that's the second time he's really like being picked off in the front line because he's playing a bit separate from his team. It's a complicated situation for Dynasty to be in. I'm not entirely sure that I love this. I mean, it comes down to Fleta's Echo, right? I want to see how Shanghai pushes up here and gets space. The Fearless Primals. Dynamite comes out. Fleta goes underground. Bruh. Well, at least the leap was nice. Again, that's a great duplicate from Plat, I think. Doesn't get a ton of value, but still, like, the positioning and the hero it took.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Primal again from Fearless. I think what stands out to me the most here is how Shanghai Dragons is utilizing all their abilities and their cooldowns to, and their ultimates to contest space and always apply pressure. Because it's pretty easy when you're playing this dive composition with like a Winston and a Diva, and like you're pretty vulnerable, and it can sometimes be like too much spam to really deal with and take. But they're juggling all these like Primal Rage, Nana Boost, Rally, Self-Destruct. They're juggling all of these tools to always put pressure on the Dynasty. And then over time, they slowly like break down whatever Seoul Dynasty is trying to do. And because Seoul Dynasty is struggling to play proactively against the Shanghai Dragons, they can't really find these picks required. Like, sometimes they're getting, like, the occasional picks from the Seoul Dynasty, but they can't really deal with how disciplined Fearless and Void is playing and how, like, the healing output that Lee Jagon and Isayaki has. I feel like Seoul Dynasty... I feel like Seoul Dynasty shines more when they're able to, like, step up the tempo a little bit, and at least not just always, like, be under pressure themselves. I almost want to go back and watch some of Seoul Dynasty's matches when they played Bunker in the past and see how that changes with Prophet on the May rather than Prophet on the Echo as is here. He can't really play the May either, though, because you're playing against a Sombra and an Echo, but I feel like the dynamic of the Bunker composition that Seoul is playing changes because they're facing this Shanghai Dragons team that is just applying so much pressure on the Seoul. Like, Shanghai is beautifully just applying pressure all the time, contesting space, pressure, rotating their abilities. It's when Sideshow said that Shanghai has great fundamental Overwatch, that's sort of what I'm seeing here. Like, there's not a ton of overextensions. It's always just like pushing their upper limits and making it hard for Seoul Dynasty to really find an edge or an advantage to play around. And I think that's what I appreciate the most about Shanghai's plays here.
Apagando las luces.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
How does Seoul slow down the aggression? This is sort of where it gets pretty hard. I would love to see the stats. So I don't have the stats available right now. But I would love to see the stats on how much Fitz is contributing on the Ashe. Because part of me believes maybe you can find a better hero. Like, I feel like Reaper would be a controversial pick. And something that a lot of people wouldn't agree with. But at least you're putting, like... You're scaring Fearless and Void to not play that up close and apply that much pressure over time anymore. The dangerous thing is, if you slow down the game further, or like if you make your composition more vulnerable, then Fearless can just step on the gas and play more aggressive. Because he's not playing super aggressive right now. He's playing aggressive when he has the resources or has the healing. He's playing disciplined, right? So they can always, because they're playing this dive disciplined, they can always play dive aggressive. And so you have to bear that in mind. I wonder how it would change with Fitz on another hero. And I mean, he's playing... Okay, so now they're just trying to mirror the dive. Hack onto Fearless. We really need to capitalize on that. Okay, Prophet dying is a big deal. So that's a great pick from Flera. So now you can't capitalize on the hack anymore. As much anyway. Fight's gonna turn on its side. Great play from Flera. Don't think they ever had a good time to swap. I mean, they had 4 maps though. And I mean, yeah, of course, they didn't play the same comp the entire way. But, you know. It's like, you gotta talk. But as I said, I don't know how much input Fitz actually had. So I would have loved to see the stats. But it feels like he didn't have a ton of input on that Ashe. I wonder how it would have changed with a Reaper. I think a McCreever is too easy to dive. A Torb could have worked, like a Torb Echo comp. But that just sounds wacky in my head. So, I don't know. I mean, this is peak Overwatch, right? So it's hard, but these are some like ideas I have in my head that I'm juggling. Don't know what's right and what's wrong. Hack onto Void forces him back. Hack onto Marvel, that's good. The great Biotic Grenade. I mean, it's not hard to hit that on a hack diva, but no one to gesture, secure some good space. Let's watch them one more time. Just one more time. Gesture's gonna get no-node. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see which of the two teams are more aggressive here. I liked what I saw from Seoul on Lijiang Tower. Okay, Gesture dives onto Lip again. So there's no leap cooldown for Seoul now. You're scared of the MP from Fitz. Wait, did he get interrupted? Lee Jagon, dude. Lee Jagon. Game changer. Flera goes to the Ana. No way, dude. Isayaki sleeps. Don't wake him up. For the love of God. Hacks gesture.
Feeling powerful, and I'm not even angry.
No. Dude, Isay... Okay, that's Nana from Flera. But, yeah. Isayaki, dude. I hadn't heard... I mean, we mostly talk about Fearless and Lip and stuff, but Isayaki's playing really well so far the second half, anyway. And, of course, a beautiful song by Lee Jagon. Okay, so I need to speed things up a bit. We got 20 minutes, and I need to do this in Junkertown. EMP from Lip. Great rally from Toby. Kind of countering it. I want to see Fearless positioning here again. Place around this corner. Let's hack so they're both tanks. Okay, how do we deal with these two bad boys? How do we deal with double Winston? DJ Gonda gets hacked. I mean, they're both hacked, but that's... I could say some damage. Oh, they're slightly out of range. The Biotic Grenade and the Inspire keeps them alive. Part of the reason, anyway. Prophet, you're trying your best, I know. Great peel back from Dragons that fight. Okay, that's a good pick for Seoul. For a Seoul fan. Does this go into overtime? DJ going to rallies. Ends up dying to Prophet. DJ gone? Or, sorry. Isayaki. Oh, well, that was... My F11 is apparently shadow play. Sleeps Prophet. Ends up dying tomorrow. I wonder if Prophet on Tracer would just not be obnoxious to deal with here. What's up, Gonzo? How's it going? Very long leap by Fearless. So, I mean, this is basic shit, but I'll say it anyway. So he leaps super far up into the sky, so he has less cooldown when he lands in the middle of Seoul. But I'll just go over it. I mean, it's basics, but it still matters. So instead of just leaping on the payload, he leaps very far up and tries to glide a little bit. So he has, by the time he lands, it's 4 seconds rather than like 5.5. So he buys himself and he primals. Probably because he's scared of being hacked by Fitz, but... See you one more time. Whoop. Drops the bubble. Just primals there. He has to be scared of the EMP, right? Fearless just goes in, dude. Juggles. Juggling. Bedosian misses sleep. Wow, this is very dramatic. This is very brutal as well. Watch this from POV? No, I thought that was a very dramatic angle. Okay, Fitz still has this EMP. Dynasty has a lot of ults here. Okay, let's see what you do with it. Gesture leaps up. Clear some space. Shanghai is in a great position. Oh! He EMP cancelled Lip.
Matrix activated.
Fearless is hacked. Turn on Fearless. Get the frags. Okay, Dynasty has such a huge advantage in this fight. I'm not even gonna...
Adaptive circuits engaged.
No.
Brigitte.
But why?
Burning them down. Flight routine active.
But why? I mean, was that necessary? I don't know, but I guess you got point B. I guess you got point B. Okay, but this is where it's scary. Because the Dragons very much could hold here. As I say that, Fearless goes down. But you still have a Nono here. You have Flat on the Echo. This is still dangerous territory. How aggressive does Dynasty go here? Considering they know that Lip has EMP. What's scary is if you let the Dragons come to you, Lip is going to try to find that EMP. You can't sit around forever. But if you up the tempo, they could just solo EMP Gesture. So, does Gesture leap in here? He does. Is he going to get turned on though?
Feeling
Apagando las luces.
So here's the solo EMP.
Lock on my target.
Great Nono from Bedosian. I like that. They speed things up for the EMP. Oh. Good EMP by Fitz. That could have been scary. Prophet Sombra. I mean, I don't hate it. That's pretty funny. Great EMP. Holy shit. With the rally as well. That's a beautiful fight from Seoul. Can they close it out though? Again has to peel back here. Gesture is in danger. Wow, this is beautiful. This is so back and forth. Flera Widow. Oh! 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 What? What?
My ultimate is ready.
What?
EMP charged. EMP charged. My ultimate is ready.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Okay, so here's what I want to do as well. Okay, I have 10 minutes. I'm not going to be able to do Junker Town. How freaking sad is that? Oh, I can't spectate Isayaki because my F11 is Shadowplay. Great anti. Forces Soul back. Well, I'd like to believe Isayaki does a lot of cool shit. Okay. So, Dynasty here. Let's see. They have so many ults.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Wait, lip engages first. What the? What? Hello? Okay, fits with an early MP here. Which I don't hate. Oh. I mean, that's not a great EMP though. You get Toby, but now you're in a shitty position, my dudes. Oh lord, did they just throw? Well, it happens. Okay, Fleta. Okay. Wait, what? Okay. So Shanghai ints. And then what?
Adaptive circuits engaged. Brigitte.
Okay, 4v1 on the cart. Lip is here. Have to peel back. Oh. Oh, that's so close. So the self-destruct from Void had a lot of impact there, because they were forced to peel back and give up space. So, great self-destruct from Void, even though I don't even think he had a choice, but... Oh well. Okay. So... Okay, so apparently we have some more time because Brennan Hook is going to retrieve some caffeine. So let's watch this Junkie Town real quick. Woo! Bam.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Watch Fitz first point. Last map, ladies and gentlemen.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Double shield.
Incoming.
Torp Tracer.
Stop the pain.
Ah. Okay. You do you, baby. I mean, diving is hard, I suppose. A neat little torb placement. Trying to play pretty cautiously. They know the dive is coming. Slow down to 0.5. Turret goes down, but just as Fearless leap back. You want to build this Nano? I don't think you have time to build a Nano at all. Marvel kind of exposed here. Great leap from Fritz. It's almost like what we talk about with angles all the time. It's like what we talk with angles all the time, that if Shanghai just plays here, Dynasty will be able to like swing and like play here, but Fearless jumping over here sort of puts, like changes the dynamic of the positioning, so Dynasty is forced to like stay here. If Prophet was there, they could maybe turn. Orisa also? Sorry, what Orisa? Ashigaru. Flera Sony. I wonder how it looks from Flera's perspective. I'm trying to dive here. Gets turret. Sleep onto gesture. Misayaki. Damn. How good is that? Okay, so here's what I want to see from that fight, actually. I want to see what Prophet does in that fight. So here comes the dive. Prophet is poking around the back. EMP, no. I mean, Prophet doesn't even stand a chance. It's just over. But he's just kind of jumping around. I don't know. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, Marvel. Is that going to get value? It does. Void. Immortality field. Let's look at that again. Morwell throws the flux. Let's see how it plays out again. Dynasty is playing such a wonky, slow composition here. So, kind of playing together. Turret goes down, I think. Fleta slow. Prophet is like the executioner a la Yaki here, but doesn't get it because Fleta duplicates. They're trying to make this amplification play over here. Doesn't get any value. I think they want to push over here as they're pushing in over here. Do like a double-edged play. A double-sided play.
Cease your resistance.
But Bedosian is they're kind of peeling around this area. These people here are still shooting here. I like this self-destruct from Void. But it's good peel as well. Or retreating from Soul, rather. Fearless goes ham in here. But Bedosian is fine because he was rallying. Now this is awkward. Because here is Soul roaming free. I feel like my brain cells have died out of exhaustion. I've reviewed for 3 hours with no breakfast, and I feel like my brain cells have just turned into fumes. Can't wait to do forwards and ramble about dumb shit. It's gonna be great. Alright, C. Nice positioning from Shanghai. Tries to get the high ground. Great halt by Gesture. Forces Void down, loses mech. Great halt by Gesture. Questionable EMP. Can you follow up on that? Okay, the Nano Fearless is the one that is able to follow up on it. Profit kind of does profit things.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Flera's not really following up with Fearless. Okay, now they're sort of turning. Profit is just in the back line, kills Lee Jagon. Turns on the Fearless. Yeah, they needed one more thing there. They needed one more ingredient to make that fight winnable for the Dragons. Like a rally, biotic grenade. Flera getting some sick sticky bombs value, something like that. Now Seoul stretching the playing field, making it hard for Shanghai to really dive onto a single thing here. Rally to put point pressure. Molten Core to zone. Pulse moment Hisayaki. Profit doing profit things. That was a pretty basic fight for Seoul because the positioning really favored what they were trying to do there. It's hard for Shanghai to recontest there. This is where it might get a bit more complicated because Shanghai can play around with like many different stuff here. Marvel might try to aggressively get a Gravitic Flux to find an advantage here because it's so close quartered. Profit forced to recall. When does Bongo come down? I don't think Fearless could go in and Primal to stretch the playing field. There's the Flux. The rally really helps them push as a unit. Okay, so Seoul just kind of tries to peel this fight, but there's just too much shit. That's just how it works. Like, you have a Nano Winston coming up with Primal and the rally just pushing everyone up here. Especially when you're in this, when you're forced to like retreat from a Nano Winston into this sort of area. It's hard for a Dynasty to really win that fight. Okay, Profit is the X Factor here with the Sticky Bomb. Would love to get that onto someone like Lee Jagon. Fitz gets a pick onto lip. Okay, so I'm technically late for foreheads, so I'm not going to go back and bother you too much. Okay. Solo EMP Marvel. Peeling Molten Core. Pretty sick turret placement. Toby kills Flera. That's big. These are some nice fights from Seoul here. They had one unwinnable one at the start here of point 3, but point C. But they were pretty neat. They stretched the playing field. Used their ultimates nicely. Liked what I saw. Okay, Lee Jagon comes back here with the rally. Molten Core. Nice. I like that. I like that. Good play from Seoul on point B and point C especially. Good stuff. It looked a bit rough on point A, but you take those.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Which was the second APAC semifinal? You mean New York, Shanghai? Fitz, Widow, Pog. Okay, are we just doing this chat?
Attackers incoming.
Is this what's happening, chat? Is this what you've been asking for? Rate, Exy, and Spark playing? Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't have any data to base it on. Okay, chat. You've been hyping up Fitz Widow. Let's see it. Whoa! Hello, Pull. Lip Widow is probably... Ooh. Hey! Oh, hey! Chat, you hyped up Fitz Widow. I see why. Okay, I understand. I understand. But is it enough? It is enough. Profit! Oh. Didn't quite get through. Thank you, Gonzo, for the 2 months. Ryan Pogs in the chat for Gonzo. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, Lip. No. Oh! Oh! Get some finishing blows. Pretty disgusting, not gonna lie. So if you're dragons here... Oh, that's a great flux as well from an off angle of Marvel. Look at that. Okay, the dragons are a bit lost here. They're trying to play this May so they can run over Gesture and Marvel. But it's not really working because Dynasty is playing such a loose style with Tracer, Widow, and... Tracer, Widow, and Sigma. Because Sigma... Ooh, okay, Lip. Okay, what's... So they're trying to play this style to shut down the tanks. This is where you want to be if you're Shanghai. Prophet is kind of stuck here with his team. This is not the greatest position you want to be in. But this is good though, because Shanghai were able to force a fight that favored their compositional strength. So that's sort of what you want to see from them. And... Oh my god. I'm like getting tense just watching the replay. I can't imagine the players. Especially in a 7-map series. Like, I cannot explain how much adrenaline and like... You don't even... Like, it's hard to even think in these moments. Like, almost everything is just intuitive. Like, here's where practice really shows. Like, you just go through the motions. Okay, so Shanghai swapped over to this dive thingy now. It's because... I think it's because Badoshan is playing the Zenyatta. They want to speed things up a little bit and don't leave him uncontested. But again, now we're in this situation where Shanghai has done such a great job all of second half. Peeling back. Okay, Prophet lands a pulse bomb. Wow, this is so hard to follow. Dive from Shanghai. How deep are you willing to go? Great pick from Lip. And they're just kind of beating them down with patience here. I think the win condition for Dynasty here is obviously just like on point A. I don't like that they're sticking to the Tracer and the Widow here. It worked really well on point A, and maybe Fitz is feeling himself. But like the map design just doesn't favor this kind of loose composition anymore. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I think they're really playing into Shanghai's hands here. And that... Oh, okay, Fitz swaps to the Torb. But I'm still not sure if that's enough. Bedosian wants to use this Transcendence. Bedosian really needs to use this Transcendence and swap to Brig in my mind. So there's the Trance. Great Barrier Grenade from Misayaki. Oh my god, this is so tense. So the EMP comes out from Lip. Gets 3. Also disables the turret. Quite important, you know. Gravitic Flux. Legion dies with Rally. And Molecules to make. That's a great Gravitic Flux. No one to Fearless. And it's just the Fearless show inside this room. Biotic Grenade from Isayaki. Isayaki truly is the hidden hero of this match. Fearless is the MVP, but like Isayaki had so many defining moments, I feel like. Foreheads? Yeah, but isn't Bren getting coffee and shit? Josh? It's on 2 times speed! What do you want me to do? He's running with Alex's way though? Okay, gotcha. I did a 3-hour review, and now I'm on the brink of finishing it, and I'm 10 minutes late for Foreheads. Freaking 7 map series. Oh, what a hack on the Prophet. Lip. Got the opening pick on point B, and now we got the opening pick onto Prophet. Fletta's Tracer. Oh my god, it's just hero plays united right now. Holy shit. And now you're in this awful position again, where Dragons has the resources required to just play their long con pressure game again and just stick to those fundamentals and use those abilities accordingly, like Lee Jagon's Rally, self-destruct to create in space, Lip CMP, use it. Oh my god, Void eats the Prophet's Pulse Bomb. Here's the Rally. Oh my god, they blow everything at once. That's so risky. I don't know if I agree with that, but... Oh, the peel for Isayaki! Oh! Prophet doesn't get the frag! Molten Core kills Fearless! I think they just blew their load. I mean, I know they're going to come back and win the thing, but, you know, dramatic effect. Oh my god, it's so tense! Oh my god! Is the Shanghai Dragons going to be able to contest the card? Only 5 seconds remaining! No, Fearless again! Primal! Good halt! Gravitic Flux, they've just been so tired of Fearless shit. Fletta Pulse Bomb. Lip gets an opening pick. Prophet gets hacked. dude, like, almost every fight Shanghai won, point A, point B, point C, was lip. Because I think on point A, he got the opening pick with the Widowmaker onto Fitz. Point B, he comes at Sombra and gets an opening pick on Fitz Widowmaker because he stuck to it. Here, I can't remember. I've already forgotten. I haven't had breakfast today and it's 3 p.m. Lip here, he got a hack onto someone. I think it was Prophet, and they killed Prophet here. Then this fight, Lip gets another hack on the Prophet. Like, Lip... Okay, so everything is just coming together. Like, Fearless, no-nos, Isayaki plays... I think Isayaki is like the hero that everyone is not talking about enough. Like, everyone's popping off, I get that, but... I mean, the hero plays here is just nuts. The breakfast mentioning cast. I'm freaking hungry, dude. My head hurts. Map number 6, this is 7. I don't know. I don't know if I would pick Isayaki or Lip to have the second most impact after Fearless in the second half. But Lip had certainly the most impact on this attack that helped Dragons secure this map in the third fight.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Okay, May Reaper.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is so risky. So, I mean, the basic premise is you like Gravitic Flux, you like Blizzard because you can just throw them on the payload in overtime. And you're like, well, we won! But it's very risky. They had such a good point A hold as well. Okay. Oh, Isayaki! Oh, Isayaki! Oh. Oh, they can't capitalize. Never mind. I'm sitting up. Nothing happened. Nothing of importance happened. Holy shit! Everything's falling apart.
This is my will. 30 seconds remaining.
Lip poking away. This is so tense. Like, my ass is clenching right now. Oh, Dynasty's... Oh. Can Fitz get the pick onto Fearless? He dies. Why didn't he... Didn't he have... Oh no, it's all falling apart. If you're Seoul Dynasty, is May Reaper on Junkertown really the hill you want to die on? Like, if you... Like, that's sort of how you have to make these decisions in grand finals. It's just like, are you willing to live with that decision? Are you willing to live with the decision of playing May Reaper in overtime on Junkertown in a year's, 2 years' time? I don't know. Oh, they're split now. They were undecisive. And now Shanghai is just like, cool. Oh no, it's all falling apart. Oh no. Seoul Dynasty. Who the fuck called for this, dude? Okay, this is very important. I know I'm late for foreheads, but this is really important. This is the hopes and dreams of this entire push. The entire reason you picked this composition. Doing his best Rascal impression. This is the hopes and dreams of the comp. You're 3 dead. Go, 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 go. Analyze faster. Oh, I wonder if you had a blizzard here. That would be quite convenient. Fitz gets interrupted. Oh, no. Oh, they're so low. Oh, no. Analyze at rapid speeds. Very quick analysis. So profit through. Everyone died so fast. Those 3 people died in such rapid succession that I don't. It's hard. I feel like Prophet just kind of did his thing, and then Seoul Dynasty, they were just like a bit unsynchronized. And I mean, it happens. But Doshin gets hacked. That's not good. Okay. Blizzard number 2. Marvel goes down. Oh no. The only reason I'm like, oh, knowing so much is just like the way. Just like the way Dragons are winning these fights. It's just like, it's honestly a bit anticlimactic to me. Okay, well, that Marvel charge is really important, by the way. Dip early. Yeah, I'm ending the stream right after this, so thank you for sticking around, Bree. Okay. That fight is over. Let's see the next fight, quick. Go, 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 go.
Score 5-3. Switching sides.
NA Finals VOD review later. Not this week. No.
Ready.
Unfortunately not.
Attackers incoming.
Junkrat.
Seconds.
Reinforces English is really good, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I certainly hope so, because my job is literally talking.
Another one.
Ready to record 4 heads?
Okay, Golden Boy. Thank you so much for the resub, by the way. 8 months, Ryan pokes in the chat. This is the timer. This is all that is remaining. This is all. 1 minute. So, this is pretty much the comp that I sort of wanted from Seoul. But it's a little bit too late.
60 seconds remaining.
And Junkertown is not the map. Had they played this on King's Row? Yeah. But I don't know if now's the time. Turning on Void. Okay. Doesn't get the pick. Gets away. Fleda picks off Marvel. It's just a bit unsynchronized. I don't think Soul is feeling too good. And I mean, that's all she wrote. I don't know if Reaper... Fitz was popping. Like, what? I just don't agree with Soul's compositions here in the overtime pushes of Junkertown. That's very disappointing. It's just very anticlimactic. I just don't agree. Alex is here. Yes, Sideshow! You know that it's over!
Upgrade detected.
Okay, thank you so much for tuning into my VOD review. That was the Shanghai Dragons beating the Seoul Dynasty in the May Melee APAC tournament. I thank you so much for joining me here today on stream, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. We are going to record 4 heads now. Thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube as well. Much appreciated. I would like if you could drop a comment, like the video, or drop a subscription. I'm going to leave now because I have to record 4 heads with Golden Boy, Sideshow, and Brennan Hook. I hope you all have a great day.